rabbits anymore? Can you guess who am I?
Doraemon.
Doraemon! You're right. Come on, give me some laddus. It made me feel so strong. Can you guess who am I?
Chota Bheem.
Chota Bheem! You're right. Map, 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 map. Map, 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 map. Guess me.
Dora the Explorer.
Dora! You're right. By just guessing a character, I can see a broader smile on your faces. Then imagine a kid's condition when they're watching a cartoon. This is ARFA NOORA, a 9th grader, here to present my TED Talk on the invisible influence of cartoon on kids. Unlike other kids, I too love watching cartoons, but just like any other parents, even my mom restricts me from watching this cartoon. She says by watching these cartoons, I'll become one of them. But only I know how much I learned from watching these cartoons. Before COVID, I was an introvert kid. I used to hate socializing. Then, during COVID, to avoid the boredom, I started watching cartoons more. At that time, I noticed how the cartoon characters are going into various adventures with their friends. To be honest, I was kinda jealous of them. Even I wanted the exact same friendship like them. So, after COVID, I started socializing more, making new friends, noticing my likes and dislikes. But at this point, there were a lot of unanswered questions pondering in my mind. That how could a cartoon influence me? How could it change my behavior? Just like how it has changed mine, would it have changed anyone else? I was so curious. I even conducted a survey based on this. It showed many results. Many people love watching cartoons. Some people don't even watch cartoons. Some people watch cartoons for entertainment, while very few of them watch cartoons for education. But when you're watching cartoons, you're invisibly getting influence from it and you're learning from it. So, when you're watching cartoons for entertainment, you're getting educated. Now, for a second, let's just close our eyes and imagine. You get an anywhere door from the cartoon Doraemon. And when you open it and get inside it, you realize you're inside a magical place. Just imagine it for a second. And suddenly, you found a lamp. And when you rub it, a genie comes out of it. And it grants you 3 wishes. Imagine it. Okay, now open your eyes. I think you must be feeling all the emotions building inside you. But why does it happen so? It's because of the visual stimulation that cartoon provides us. There's a part in our brain which is responsive for empathy. This activates when a cartoon character gets emotional and it leads to resonance with us and the cartoon characters, and we feel fear, joy, happiness, sadness, and so many other emotions. Today, there are a lot of cartoons animated all around the world, like Doraemon, Shin-chan, Chota Bheem, Motu Patlu, Spider-Man, Batman, and so on. I guess you must have heard about the cartoon Dora the Explorer. It teaches kids how to use a map effectively. Have you ever wondered what's in the bag of Dora? She carries a big bag. But what's inside it? Let's find out. She carries many things like safety scissors, bandages, binoculars, extra food, clothes, water bottle, and so many other things. By watching this, I even carry those items with me to my guide's camp. The other day, I was in my career guidance class and I was listening to my teacher's lecture. At first, I found it entertaining, but as time went on, I started feeling it boring. But instead, when I'm watching a cartoon, I can catch all the morals taught in it easily. My favorite cartoon is Naruto. It has some 500 episodes moral, which, if I say now, the list wouldn't end. But still, I would like to share some three with you guys. No dreams are too big. Don't get stuck on your past. And my favorite one, never give up, never give up. Now, here, I mentioned Naruto as a cartoon. Now, many may argue with me saying Naruto is not a cartoon, it's an anime. Animes and cartoons are different. But the most famous website and the most viewed website, the Wikipedia, says Doraemon is a recent anime. It's kinda true that all the animes are cartoons, but not all cartoons are animes. There's some difference. Cartoons are made to gear the kids, while animes are made for the different themes and varied stories. As an Asian, I can proudly say we Asian people love to respect our culture a lot. Today, animes and cartoons are exposing us to them. Dragon Ball is based on the Chinese novel Journey to the West. It exposes us to the Buddhist. Naruto exposes us to the samurai traditions and the yokai, the supernatural creatures. There's some other cartoons and animes too, which exposes us to their culture. By watching these animes, I even learn Japanese. Words like arigato, arigato, arigato. Do you know? I'm wishing you. It means thank you. Sumimasen, which means excuse me. Gohan, which means rice. Misu, which means water. And so many other words. Today, anime is growing rapidly all around the world. According to research conducted by Riba Pragada in the app Crunchyroll, where people watch cartoon, it's said to have 800 million people watching anime, excluding Chinese and Japanese people. Which, if we include them, it's obvious we would get more than 800 million people watching animes. This shows the scope in the future of animators, story writers, editors, voiceover characters, cartoonists, and so on. While I was watching these cartoons and animes, I even noticed one thing: the love between the family. In the cartoon Peppa Pig, we can notice how Peppa and her brother George love to hear stories from their parents. Even me and my grandpa, who is no more, we both used to enjoy watching cartoons together. We would sit, talk about it, discuss, and have fun together. Sometimes it will even annoy my family. But we wouldn't care. As we're growing up, we may feel stressed about many things. It can be reduced by watching cartoons with our family. Sitting, discussing about it, laughing, and having fun together will help us reduce our stress, but will also help us to increase our bonding. Sometimes we call some cartoons and animes as bad cartoons and we need to restrict watching them. But we fail to notice the love between the family. In the cartoon Shinchan, we can see how Shinchan takes care of Himawari in the absence of his mother. This shows the love between them. Cartoon gadgets are also in need influence on us. By watching these cartoon gadgets, me and my siblings started creating them in real life using stationary items. When we are creating that, we were having a lot of fun together, and this also increased our bonding. Sometimes people get inspired by these cartoon gadgets and create them in real life. It has happened many times before. In the cartoon Batman, the flying planes, many people believe it must have what inspired people in the invention of drones. In the cartoon Donald Duck, there was a formula used, which 20 years by now is used by scientists. Crazy, right? Do you know what else is crazy? Having your own personal robot. How many of you heard about the cartoon The Big Hero 6? In this, there's a robot named Baymax. He acts as a healthcare robot. What if people actually invent this in future? We never know. By getting influenced by these cartoons, Do you know what's another impressive fact about cartoons? Cartoon can also save a person's life. Wait, how could a cartoon save a person's life? Isn't it just for entertainment? I know you wouldn't believe it. But here, a story for you guys. Mushraf was a small boy in Lucknow. One day, he started feeling the building tremor. At that time, he was reminded of an episode in the cartoon Doraemon where the side character Nobita takes shelters under the beds and the corners of the wall. He immediately took shelter under his bed, and the last thing he noticed was building collapsing. Later, he was saved without much injuries. This shows how Mushraf saved himself by just watching a cartoon and getting reminded of it. Even in Nigeria, there was a rapid spread of Ebola virus. At that time, people found cartoon as a tool to create awareness against it. The cartoons were based on the harmful effects of Ebola virus. However, it had a good impact as it showed strategies to fight against it. Do you guys know how people found cure for the Parkinson's disease? People found cure for the Parkinson's disease by using cartoon as a tool. Do you believe it? In a research conducted by UNESCO says a differently abled kid is vulnerable to bullying. Bullying is harmful both for the victim and also for the person who is bullying. Cartoon makers who understood the need for inclusion have started introducing characters with different level characteristics. 5-year-old Tanvi loves watching cartoons. Her favorite cartoon character is Mandy Mouse from Peppa Pig. Actually, Tanvi doesn't know anything about Mandy. Mandy is a wheelchair person and Tanvi just found her unique and that's why she likes her. Her mom, who later found out about this, explained it to Tanvi. Today, most of the kids are not born with differently able characteristics. Today, cartoons are teaching us how to treat them. Many parents and initiatives says they love the way how differently able character is brought into cartoons without much build-up. This shows how a differently able person should be treated like they're already there and they don't need to be introduced. Cartoon mnemonics are also time efficient for a medical student as they need to memorize many facts. Therefore, webtoons are thought to increase the learning interest and make it less harder. Do you want to know another impressive contribution made by cartoons? Sesame Street has always been a beloved part of kids. Today, made an impressive contribution in teaching kids basic maths. By using characters like Convocon, they teach kids basic maths through skits, songs, and plays. This way, kids find maths less harder and easily approachable. As a kid is growing up, there's a path in their life where they observe all the languages around them. At this part of their life, a parent can introduce a cartoon to their kid. Cartoons often use a large number of phrases or words which are not commonly used in our daily life. By watching this, the kid will be able to learn a new language, but he will also be able to differentiate between different tones and sound, which is important for language acquisition. Now, wouldn't it be fun if you're able to predict the future? What you're going to eat for today's night or tomorrow's morning? A cartoon named Simpson is going viral because many people believe it has the ability to predict the future. The gadgets which they are using now, before they all were invented, Simpson have already predicted this. Many people believe it has also predicted a big tsunami. Do you guys believe it? Do you think Simpson will be able to predict more of our future? We never know. Just like how coins have two sides, cartoons do too. Can you guess what I mean by this? Just like how everything in this world have both positive and negative sides, cartoons also have both positive and negative sides. By watching cartoons continuously, the kids get affected to it. Some cartoons also show aggressive behavior. By watching this, the kid get aggressive. A kid who was mimicking his favorite cartoon character jumped from his apartment thinking he would fly or some superhero will come and save him. But nothing happened. Instead, he fell down and passed away. This must have not only caused an impact to his parents but also for the society. Many of us we blame the cartoons for it, saying it's only cartoons' fault here. By watching this cartoon, only the kid affected this. But is it only cartoons' fault here? Isn't it ours too? Before the kid must have attempted this, there might be a change in his behavior, which we fail to notice. Even my mom, she used to restrict me from watching cartoons before. But now, after knowing all the positive influence from the cartoon, she started encouraging me to watch cartoons more, but with my limits. She set me screen zone like bedroom and screen timing, by using which I watch cartoons but with my limits. I conducted a survey based on parents' thought what they think about cartoons. And in my survey, I found out 55% of the parents restrict their kid from watching cartoons. Cartoons can be used as a real life education tool. Just because it has some negative sides doesn't mean to restrict it or avoid it. Let's have a look at this. I can see your happy faces. Can you guess this cartoon character? He-Man! You're right. I know it was the favorite cartoon character of 80s kids. Getting fascinated by the cartoons and getting influenced by these cartoon characters, as an initiative, I created a content on the theme of moral values.
Come in. Why are you late?
It's because of traffic, teacher. I'm sorry.
Really? Okay then, go and sit.
Later that same evening,
I'm late because I overslept. It's not because of traffic. I lied to my teacher. Wait, this reminds me of something.
That's why I tell you, Nobita, to don't lie to your parents. Every time you lie, karma hits back.
I shouldn't lie to my teacher. I'll go and confess it to her today.
Come in. What makes you come here, dear?
Teacher, I lied to you. I didn't came late because of traffic. It's because I overslept. I'm sorry.
It's okay, dear. At least you said the truth. I'm forgiving you this time, but don't repeat it again.
Thank you, teacher. And I'm sorry again.
Now, after knowing all the positive sides of cartoons, will you still restrict your kids from watching cartoons? Think. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.